Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I am with Isaac and Joel, and we're with the cow-calf herd. And Isaac, you want to talk a little bit about how you all are managing this herd? This is June 20th?
June 21st.
June 21st.
Second longest day of the year.
Why are the cows so fat and slick?
Well, it's good grass and good genetics, I guess. These cows have been doing, been on a three a day move. So we move them morning, noon, and night. We're giving them, I was measuring this paddock's roughly 2.5 acres today. They got 2.5 acres this morning, and then they got the 2.5 acres this afternoon. So, and we're getting ready to move them on about 3 to 4 acres for tonight.
Okay.
So they're getting roughly anywhere from 7 to 9 acres a day, but we're splitting that up between 3 moves. And this pasture that they're on, this field has been grazed 3 times. This is the 3rd graze so far this year, and it's June. So we grazed it once with the calving mob at the beginning of April. And then we kept the calving mob on here for another rotation, and then joined the rest of the herd up here around mid to end of May.
The fall calvers.
Yep. And then now, whatever that is, 30 days later, we're back on it, and look at the feed that we've got in here for these cows. Everything is super vegetative, and where they've grazed, if you look back here,
there's not hardly any seed heads.
You don't even need a brush hog. They took just the top 1/3 of the plant, and they left the rest. And that's all. That's not us forcing them to do that. That's on their own will. They're taking.
Put your hand right down there for a reference. Yeah, look at that.
And that's actually kind of some of the shorter stuff. Some of it they're leaving.
Yeah.
Even longer. They're taking just the top bit of it off of there.
Well, one of the things that you noticed, well, Joel, I'll ask you, what was the big wow that you saw today? Maybe it was yesterday too.
The last couple days.
Yeah, this last couple days when we've been moving on this really vegetative, the highest quality forage the mob's been on for a bit. The flies just pretty much disappeared, and you can see them. It just
there's no flies on the cow.
Crazy.
There's no flies on the cow.
Yeah.
So now, how did you all spray them cows?
Nope. just grazing them right. So it is turning a little bit more purple. This is a pH paper. We tested the urine on one of the heifers. Now this is a heifer too. We could try out a cow and
I think we need
a couple
to try
others
a cow.
And see. But it's not quite 8. It's somewhere in between 8 and 8.5 as far as the pH on them.
Let's try one more. So this is pH paper, folks, and what we're doing is Isaac set that down in P from a heifer, measuring the pH of the urine. You want it to be around 7 to 7.5. That's ideal. Let's see if we can find another one.
The reason we're testing the pH is because supposedly when the pH is 7, the flies disappear.
Yeah.
And so that's a good reason. You want to go up closer and see?
Yeah. I mean, there's hardly any flies on this. No. No. And the calves don't have any flies on them. And Joel, you want to get up here front? I ask you a question. You noticed, you made the comment today that some of the calves had watery eyes and they kind of dried up.
Yeah, we had a handful of them in here that had kind of gotten a little pink eye, but it's on the mend. It's cleaning up now. But even the ones that still have a little water dripping down their face, there weren't even flies around that in some cases. There's
usually that's a food source when you have that water.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a handful of flies some places on.
Just a few on their backs, maybe a few by their eyes, but as far as total flies,
it's nothing.
Well, we were in the bull mob this morning, guys. We were sorting, and there was a lot of flies on the bulls. A lot more than
getting in your face.
Yeah.
And this is probably the most any one cow will have.
Yeah.
Is a spot where she's licked.
Yeah.
There's nothing else on her. The faces are clean.
The butts. Yeah.
It seems like they're pink eye. When we were on the Judy farm, we were grazing more a poor grazed field, so it wasn't grazed as well as this field was.
Yeah.
And they started to get some pink eye in the calves, and some of the heifers. And since we've moved to this farm, it seems like it's starting to dry up.
Right.
The feed. So, let alone that now their cows are starting to cycle. We've noticed them cycling more, and the condition they're putting on them.
We'll talk about that a little bit. So last year we put the bulls in July 1st. We took them out August 31st. What did that do to our calving season this spring?
Yeah, so it shrunk our calving season down to, we shortened it to a 60-day calving window. But because last year we had started doing the three-day moves, or 3 moves a day as well, we had, I would say, 70 to 80 calves of the 99 we had this year were in the first 45 days. So they just cycled back really quick. And I have a feeling this year we're gonna have a similar system because there's a bunch of cows that are riding.
Oh, they're already riding. They just calved.
Right. Yeah. And so we still got a week and a half before we're turning the bulls in for the first the first round. They still have.
Are you sure you're not feeding those cows
We still
grain?
have 2 months.
You're not feeding them grain? Look
Yeah.
at that, folks.
Yeah. Now these are yearling heifers. These were born last.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be last spring.
Yeah.
And they're already 550, 600 pounds. Most, all these in here
Yeah.
are just gaining really
They're
well.
really, really slick.
But,
Yeah. The calves, because they had them all in basically, I don't know, we didn't start calving until the 7th of April. And then it seemed like you had about 80 in 20 days.
yeah, and then by mid-May, we were pretty much wrapping
Done.
up.
Yeah.
So
You see the cow where they're riding that other one. She's in heat.
yeah, there's been a group of them hanging out with each other. There's no bulls to service them, so they've been pestering each other. But
Well, Joel, what do you think about this 3 times a day move thing?
I think it's pretty neat because when we started moving them the middle of the day again, it meant we were able to get a lot better density during the 2-day moves, and so it makes it a lot easier to get the one bite off of most plants graze a lot more consistently, get a little bit better impact, and then the cattle come out. Sometimes they'll shade up in the end of the morning,
Right.
and if we don't come out there and move them in the middle of the day, they'll hang out in that spot and just
All day
swat
long.
flies all day long until you show up in the evening.
Yep.
And so moving them again in the middle of the day gets them out of that and they're out and grazing again, and it's the middle of the day, so the sun is shining at the peak its intensity, and so the bricks, the sugars in the grasses are at the highest they're going to be during the day. So
It's giving them a sugary treat.
Yeah, it's the best grass for them to be grazing on.
and I think it also helps train them to graze. Because you look right now, it's 85, 90 degrees out right now, bulb temp, and they're not even shaded.
Why are
up,
they standing? They got trees for shade. Why are they out here in the sun?
Yeah,
It's hot out
they're
here,
getting
guys.
used to it, I think.
Huh?
I think they're getting used to the heat. They don't need the shade,
I'm telling you,
We
this is.
still
I'm
provide it, but
sweating.
I
I'm
don't
just
know if they
standing
need
here
it.
and I'm sweating. It's
Yeah.
not cool out here.
Yeah. I was gonna show you this one calf that was walking by at 408 here,
408. Oh my gosh! Look at the rump on him.
right here. Just behind this 435. She was walking in front of. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
The heifer calf.
Well, it is a heifer.
Yeah. But yeah, all the calves are pretty consistent size too, because you shorten the calving window, and they're all gaining quite a bit of weight now.
These are all south poles, and 4-way cross.
There you
Oh yeah, there's another cow riding over there. Have y'all seen any more cows pee?
No, I haven't.
I'd like to get a sample from a mature cow.
Yeah.
See what the pH is on her urine. You don't want them to pee, they won't pee.
Right.
But all I gotta say is these cows are fat, they're slick, and I've never seen. We're in prime fly season, guys.
Mhm.
I mean, we really are. This is prime fly season.
Humid.
It's humid. The flies are They're hatching really good, and there's hardly any flies on these cattle.
There were. I mean, we've had like when we were getting a bunch of that rain, or when we were at the Judy farm, we were getting to where they were really bothering the cows.
Yeah.
All over their faces and everything else. And,
Well, almost every cow had a ring of flies around their eyes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a single cow that's got a ring. There's a few flies on their eyes, but
Nothing that their
No.
ears can't flap,
No.
and their backs look clean. And,
guys, look across the top of that herd. There's not hardly any tail swatty.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a few, but because there's not any flies attacking them and biting them, the tails aren't hardly moving. That's crazy. It's June 20th,
Yeah.
21st.
21st.
Okay, well, who's
We'll
got the
show
P?
what we got going
Yeah,
into
let's
there,
go over here and see what you're going to be turning them into.
See what they grazed it to.
Yeah.
This is about right as far as most plants have a bite or have been trampled.
Yep.
And it's all, there's seed heads out there, but if you look down, there's mostly just leaf because we kept it grazed the last rotation.
Very, very vegetative. Yeah. Well, I had a farm tour yesterday morning, and we walked into that paddock. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I hadn't seen that vegetative of a grass in a long time.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Quite a difference. You
Look at-
see what they've taken off.
Look at that. Put your arm down there, Joel. Holy moly. It's that clear up to your elbow.
That's
Yeah.
fescue.
Yeah.
All leaf.
The leaf just.
Yeah. Man. They're gonna be in hog heaven here tonight. Look at this.
Yeah, when you look out across, all you see is seed heads. And
Yep.
then when you look down,
All you see is leaves.
it's so sparse that, you know, the seed heads are so sparse and you can't see the ground
I
anywhere.
mean, look at that. Beautiful feed.
When we're putting the fence in, you can tell the difference on this farm versus some of the other farms that don't have this lush blanket.
Because the post goes.
posts go in so much easier under this grass than the other places.
Yeah.
So, guys, just to give a quick talk about the decision we made to leave off a third of our farms this year
Mm-hmm.
for the spring.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, it's something we've always preached but never practiced kind of a thing, or never, you know, fully committed to. But the reason we went 2 rotations around this farm was because the plants that we had started on were recovered. Well, part of it was from calving season, but we got around 2/3 of the farm, and where we started was already ready to graze. So instead of just continuing our rotation around the rest of the farm, we left 1/3 of the farm and went back to where the grazing was the best for the
Yep.
cattle, and we've continued the rotation around now 2 extra times. So we've gone 3 rotations this spring so far on the 2/3 of the farm and left the 1/3 of the farm.
What if we'd have kept going on that other third of the farm? What would have happened to this grass?
This we wouldn't have got as good of a graze last time because it was going to be more rank.
Yep.
Because we would have had to speed
When
up.
you say rank, what are you talking
Just more lignified, less vegetative, less energy in the plants.
about? Yeah.
Because everything's green here. Everything's
Yes.
full of chlorophyll and energy. It's cycling energy really quick.
And there's really not that many seed heads. I mean,
so in the pursuit of trying to get around the whole farm, we would have sacrificed a good graze. So the total quality of the farm would just continue to go down. And so now you're looking at June, prime pink eye month, prime fly month, and you're going to get into, you know, that's when you get into your issues. Versus
Yeah.
if you can focus on 2/3 of your farm and get that grazing right. I mean, if we get some rain here in the next couple weeks, we may even be able to go back to the Judy farm if it, you know, if it keeps vegetative or it keeps
Right.
growing as good as it's been. So
well, the third of the farm that we left off and didn't graze, we call those the Collie Road farms. Did we waste that grass?
nope, it's growing grass underneath all the grass that we let go, and that's going to get trampled on. We're going to hit that later in the summer, probably when it gets dry, when we're hurting for grass growth.
Yep.
Now we can go on the third that we've left behind and extend our recovery to 90 days,
Right.
and we'll be sitting in hopefully this much stockpile come
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah. And think of all the carbon they're going to trample
Yeah.
on the ground. That
Yeah.
was grown this spring.
Yep. Well, because all we did was, so we started off the spring, we had this much grass, and we took it down to there, or, you know, we took 2 inches off of it.
Yep.
And then it grew back to 8 inches.
Yep.
And we took 3 inches off it. Now it's grown up to 12, 14, 16 inches. And so we're going to take 4 inches off this time. And next time it could be, I mean, we'll see when it gets here. It's a lot dependent on moisture, but this may be this tall and thick next
Right.
time we're in here, just depending on the rainfall. But the theory, like Ian talks about, growing your stockpile or your
Yes.
what's he call it, haystack.
Haystack. Your haystack starts in the spring, not in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
We cover that in our grazing school. What do you all think about that old thorn tree there? Does it feel pretty good in the shade?
Yeah, I was thinking that. It feels nice in the shade.
You know, guys, when we leased this farm in 2001, that tree was the size of my wrist. I mean, I thought the cows were going to break it over.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it now. It's probably, well, if you put a tape measure and go all the way around, it's probably 3 foot,
Yeah.
you know. That thing's throwing out some nice shade, too.
Yeah.
Golly, guys, I just can't say enough about how good the cows look. I want you to see y'all move them.
All right. Here, I'll give you that.
I'll hold on to pH paper.
Back fencing in here tonight.
Yep. If I see something peeing, I'll see if I can get a pH reading. Man, look at that herd, folks. They are so fat. You know, Ian said that when your pH gets off because you're not getting enough energy, maybe there's actually a smell that is emitted from a cow that attracts flies. And if you get enough energy in them, it's the opposite. They're putting out a odor that says, get off, stay away from me. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. I've never seen cows that didn't have flies on them, you know, June 21st. I mean, and I'm not going to say there's not any, there's some, but normally this time of year, you'll have them just all up and down their backs and on their eyes. Folks, those cows are fat. And the calves are healthy. We haven't had a single case of scours this year. No pneumonia. We haven't given a calf a shot. 100 calves and not a single sick one. Yeah, this stuff, people say it's just too much work or it doesn't work. The haters, oh, what Greg's doing, he's just telling a story, he's not doing it. Okay, whatever. I don't have time for haters, but I'm gonna tell you one thing, this is working, taking the top part of the plant, the high energy tips, and moving them. There's no total grazing for us. Nope, ain't gonna do that. It's a good way to go broke. I mean, if you got lots of money and you want to feed supplement to get your energy back up, I guess you could do that, but why? Why would you do that? I don't get it. But I'll tell you one thing, them cows are gonna be happy when they get in it here. He's gonna roll that wire back about 100 feet, and then he's gonna take the reel and go over there by that pond. And so he's gonna back fence them. They're gonna be locked in here tonight. It's amazing, the calves, how quickly they've learned to eat grass. I saw in calving season, there was calves that were 2 or 3 days old. And those darn things were out there, had little pieces of grass in their mouth. They watched mama. This is a rarity, folks. I mean, usually, you know, it's June. Heat index today, I think they said was 102. The boys came here to move these cows at noon. They said they were out grazing. They're out in the sun. We came over here tonight. It's 5 o'clock. It's still hot. I mean, that sun is brutal. It's just beating me up. And they were out here in the sun. And they got trees. There's trees all over there. There wasn't a single cow over at them trees. Man, I tell you, this stuff's so tall, it's hard to walk in. Let's see if I can find one that peas. Probably gonna, the grass is so tall, folks, I can hardly see the cattle in it. Or the calves. I can see the cows, I can't really see the calves. This is the most uniform calf crop. You know, we've had 80 or whatever it was in the first 20 days, and then the next 20 days, the last, 20 petered out. It just is amazing to me how healthy they all are. Some people, do fall calving and they get along good with it. We tried, we've got some fall calvers, but it seems like our fall calves never grow out quite as well as the spring calves. Just something we've noticed on our farm. Now, other people, they get along great fall calving. So there's, you can do either. Whatever suits you or your cows or your environment, go for it. Look at that calf. He's eating, that's bluegrass seed heads. That's what he's eating. bluegrass seed heads. Look at that. Getting a good taste of seed head. You see any flies on that calf? There's no flies on either one of them. Not around their eyes. I mean, what is the deal? I got to get a pH on one of these cows. There's one tree in here for shade. It's that one up there. And they're up there eating the leaves off of it. Some of the cows are. Boys just moved the mineral into their nightly paddock. Now they're going to back fence and we're going to run that wire back over that pond. And that keeps them off of all that over there, which they were on this morning and this afternoon. I wonder what my chances are of finding a cow that pees. Probably not real good, but I'm gonna try it. I gotta take one for the team. I mean, I am cooking out here. I tell you, folks, if you can pick a color of your cows, and you live in an area where there's a lot of heat, get a cow that's red and has an oily surface. I did notice that these cows are exuding a lot of oil. And but they're getting a lot of energy from these plant tips, and there's just hardly any seed heads on the individual plants. I mean, you look out across it, it looks like there's a lot, but you get down here and look down, there just isn't hardly any seed. All you see is leaf, lots of leaf. I'm gonna go up here. Maybe I can catch one and pee. So I got my pH paper. And it has from 6.0 all the way up to 8.5. And it's color coded. It's color coded, so you match the color. You see what color the pH paper turns after you stick it down in the pea. Tell what that spot is right there. That was where we put a mineral feeder this spring. You can still see the imprint. There's some cows up there chewing the leaves off that bodark. What a difference that last 2 years we've been in a really, really mean drought. Started out the spring in a mean drought, and then we got rescued the last week of April. I was almost ready to pull the plug on all of our steers, and it started raining. And ever since then, it's rained every week, and not just a sprinkle, but a measurable rain. I was gone last week to Georgia on that farm consult, and they got 3/4 of an inch. The week before that, here we go. So on 6.4 we got 1.25. On 6.8 we got 3/4 of an inch. Then on 6.13 we got 3/4 of an inch. And this is the 21st, so we haven't got a rain since then. Now this is just June. I don't have my timer, my day timer for May. I think in May we had 9 inches. So, yeah. You get rain, you get heat and sun, and you grow a lot of grass in central Missouri. Can't see anything peeing. Well, folks, I'm gonna end this video and keep watching around here. Maybe I'll get one. If I do, I'll report back what the pH was on a mature cow. But we're happy. We're getting tons of forage now. Good. We've been getting good rains, and life is good on Green Pastures Farm. And hope to see some of y'all at the grand opening at the retail store there in Seymour, Missouri at Powerflex. That's July 12th and 13th. I'll be giving a couple talks there. And come with your list, stuff that you need, because it's a one-time 15% discount. That's a pretty nice discount if you got a lot of stuff you want to buy. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.